Welcome back to Glendale today. Joining me on the set are two organizations who service our veterans on a regular basis here in Glendale. Now, Ed, I'd like to introduce Ed Hill with the American Legion. Tell us about the American Legion Post and how people can get involved. And fill us in on how the American Legion serves its veterans.
Well, first of all, my name's Ed Hill. I am the service officer for American Legion Post 29 over on 57th D Street in Glendale, right across from a police station. And we're open to all veterans. Our job over there is to help the veterans in the best way we know how. The camaraderie at the bar, at the hall, the events that are going on over there are all geared towards family orientated. It's not just, you don't walk in there and expect to talk about your experiences in Vietnam or your experiences in Afghanistan. It's all a different conversation altogether. And I think that's what's scaring a lot of people away, because they think all they're going to talk about over there is going to be, well, what you did here, what you did there. That's not so over there. It's more family orientated. And my job over there as service officer is to take care of the veterans that are having problems with paperwork or problems mentally, physically, with their families. Come in to see me. We get the paperwork squared away. We save them a lot. I save them a lot of work going back and forth to the VA hospital. I get the paperwork done, and then we have a representative in Glendale in City Hall that's there the second and fourth Wednesday of the month. My job is to get the paperwork squared away for him and make it a lot easier for the client and to go to the VA. All his paperwork is done. He's not going back and forth to the VA 20 different times.
Right, and you say he, you're talking about anybody that's ever served, men or women.
I'm talking men or women.
Sure, sure. So what you provide and help with a lot of times is our veterans, rather than going all the way down to the hospital in downtown Phoenix to find out that they need a DD-214, or you can help get a lot of that taken care of before they ever go there, save them a lot of anguish, right?
And that's what the job is, yes, is
right.
stop a lot of the back and forth to Phoenix.
Right, right.
All
right. Okay. Now, next I'd like to introduce Gerry Schaller. Jerry's with the Old Breed Detachment of the U.S. Marines. Jerry, what's your organization known for, and how do you help our veterans in Glendale?
Well, first off, we're the Marine Corps League, the Old Breed Detachment, and that name comes from World War II, 1st Marine Division. That was their nickname. We've been in existence for 25 years here in Glendale, as you know. Our assistance to veterans, part of our mission statement says we will assist veterans, widows, and orphans. And that's what we do on a daily basis. We assist them with all types of problems. Today it was a moving problem. We have a veteran that's moving into an apartment. We'll assist with the moving. We'll physically go out there and take his furniture and move it into an apartment. We work with a lot of students from GCC. We have what we call a gap. They are under the VA program, but when they start school, the VA payment doesn't come through right away. They'll sit there that first month and may not be able to make their rent. They may not be able to have food in their house, whatever. We're there to help them. We purchase books for them. We vet all of these veterans very, very closely, because we feel responsibility, because of the money that we use is from the citizens of Glendale. And we raise that at mainly our two big events. One is Glendale Glitters, which starts the weekend after Thanksgiving and runs through the first weekend in January. And what we just finished up with, the Chocolate Affair. We're there every night, every day.
Where is there?
At Murphy Park, Mayor. And we try to get the same location so people can find us. And we have our Marine Rose. And the Marine Rose is very significant because that represents the veterans. And we get donations for that because of the generosity of the people of Glendale and the help that you have given us through the years. With that money, we have a responsibility to those people, and we take that very seriously. We have assisted on so many different occasions, people, not only money, but also just needing somebody to talk to. We work closely with GCC. We work closely with the other universities around town. We work closely with the VA, and now we're working with the court system, as you know. That's another big project.
That's been something near and dear to your heart, I know.
Yes, sir. We,
Can you talk about that?
well, we're going to get a veterans court in the city of Glendale. And I think it's very good for everybody to do a little research, because the veterans court doesn't mean a free ride. If you go to, veteran goes to veterans court, it's usually longer, and he has to do more than somebody that goes to regular court. The only difference is he's going to get treatment, or she's going to get treatment for the cause. It could be PTSD, we don't know. It could be alcohol, it could be drug abuse. But they're going to get the help for the underlying problem. It's not just, you shoplift, we're going to put you in jail. That doesn't benefit anybody. We come out with a more productive citizen who is paying taxes in Glendale rather than being a tax burden by sitting in a jail cell. The veterans courts around the state are showing some fantastic numbers. The veterans court in Havasu City, out of 101 cases over the past 2 years, had only one repeat offender.
That's amazing.
When you look at regular court at 60 and 70 and 80% repeat offenders, it is amazing. So yes, that's been near and dear to me, and I'm very grateful that we'll be seeing it here in the near future.
You know, the thing I like about what you've been, and since I've known you, which I guess has been 5-6 years now.
Yes, sir.
That's been something that you've pushed and pushed and pushed, and the tenacity that you've had as far as never letting that issue go. You know, I commend you highly. I mean, I think you've done a fantastic job, and I'm proud that we're getting that. But again, what the Veterans Court does goes back to the very thing that we all do with Stand Up for Veterans, and that's to try to give these veterans an opportunity to get back on their feet, to become regular citizens, taxpayers, and be able to hold their heads up high and not have their hand out. Be able to be somebody that's part of our communities rather than a burden. And the vast majority of our veterans are fantastic folks. We have some that have issues and problems. And I think you've addressed one issue right off the bat with the court systems, is trying to get to the core problem, the crux, and fix that. And again, I really, really commend you on doing that. Typically, when you have your events, your fundraisers, you guys look like you're just having a bunch of fun. I mean, it doesn't look like a fundraiser, it looks like a fundraiser.
It is.
And I see the wives out there and families, and I see people come by that have served. And give me an idea of typically the type of money it takes for you to accomplish your goal in a year's time.
In a year's time, if we took and added up all the assistance that we give, we are probably putting out anywhere from $25,000 to $30,000.
By taking donations for them little bitty roses.
We call it begging for bucks. Okay, Mayor?
You know what? You've never held back on me, and you're not doing it now. Now you guys have a similar situation. You're always trying to raise money for your causes, and you guys do the similar things. You're helping your veterans. I know you personally get really involved in just getting the veteran and finding out the information and help him fill out his paperwork. Can you talk a little bit more about what, you know, all the different things that you do?
Well, another thing we're trying to do over there is we're trying to get the homeless veteran off the street. This is a tough subject with me, but I don't see any need for it. I see him out on the corner begging for money. We do have an organization called Vets Helping Vets. We do have a lot of other organizations within Glendale that any veteran can reach out to and get help. And if they can't find out who they are, all they have to do is come over and see us, and we can head them in the right direction. We're also like to get ourselves family orientated. So we're bringing in the whole family, not just the veteran, we want his family in there with us. We have an auxiliary over there for the women, wife of a veteran or a veteran herself. She could join the American Legion if she chooses, or the auxiliary. We have an SAL, which is a son to the American Legion, which we also, it's another organization we have over there. And we also have a riders organization, motorcycle riders organization over there, which, if you need money raised, the best way to get it raised is call a biker. I think the mayor has found that out. I mean, I've seen it in the past. I belong to a lot of organizations where bikers can raise an awful lot of money.
And I'm very avid motorcyclist myself, and I've done a couple things to help our veterans, both with Glendale Community College and ASU West, where we did our annual Mayor's Big Dog Run, and actually rode down Luke Air Force Base runway and raised a lot of money for scholarships to help our veterans. That I don't care whether you're a veteran from Vietnam or Korean War, or you just came back yesterday. If there's a need, I think that you guys will agree with myself that there's a lot of people willing to help. A lot of people. There's never a reason why somebody could say I couldn't find help. You have to make that question. You have to ask. I want to thank you guys so much for what you do. I couldn't be more proud to be sitting here with two veterans myself. I'm very proud of both of you. Proud to call you my friends. Thank you for what you do. I hope you keep doing that, and I hope that you fill that bench and have guys that are coming along after you to keep helping our veterans.
Thank you, Mayor.
Can I just add one thing, Mayor? What we would like to do is get the people coming out, not waiting 20 or 30 years to join these organizations.
Right.
We want them now.
Right, right. You're right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, thank you for joining us for this edition of Glendale Today. Now, if you know a veteran who could benefit from any of these service agencies, let them know that we want to help. We only had time to talk with 4 agencies today. There are a lot of groups out there, and one organization that's bringing military agencies together is our local Glendale Chamber of Commerce. Now, the Military Veterans Affairs Committee of the Chamber has grown to about 30 members now, and these are all agencies who have met once a month to discuss veteran issues and also take on these projects to support our military as well as our veterans. Now, that committee meets at the Glendale Chamber of Commerce, and I'm proud to serve on that committee myself. Our city is so fortunate to have Luke Air Force Base in the city limits of Glendale, and I feel strongly that we need to do all we can to support our military installations and our veterans. I encourage our residents to get more involved in supporting these veteran service organizations, and working together we can continue to make a positive difference in the lives of our veterans here in Glendale. Now, thank you for joining us on this edition of Glendale Today.